So, hello everyone, this is Djuntas, and today I'm just gonna talk a little about my thoughts on Diablo 4 at the moment. So, I'm still playing on Internal Realm, on the sorceress that I made when the game came out. I am not interested so far in playing on Seasons, because I don't really think they have delivered much content yet that would interest me. But maybe sometime I will check out a Season if they provide good enough content. But today's topics are just gonna go over gearing especially, some thoughts that I have general about the game, and what they could also still improve upon. So while I talk, I'm also just gonna run a Nightmare 80 dungeon, and 80 is pretty comfortable for me at this gear level and build. But the most annoying thing I actually kind of want still changed, and I know they also changed it in this patch here, death effects and environment damage. I think it's so stupid. I think I died 2 or 3 times in that run there just because I'm standing at something that died. I don't move right away and poof. This death on effects, I don't think they add anything to the game, and at least they shouldn't be so overpowered that they are literally killing a best geared character. Like my gear is so good now that I shouldn't have to worry about death effects at least. We didn't really do that in Diablo 3. Death effects were also pretty deadly there, but they were never at the level in Diablo 4 where you literally have to wait for the death effect to end before you can loot mobs. I think that's a very annoying thing, and I think they should still do something about that one. But for now, let's talk about gear. This is definitely the main point. I'm just gonna show my wizard here. So the weapon only misses 1 roll to be perfect. The boots are pretty much GG, they are very close to being perfect. Also some really good T-Bird's Will here, and unique I suppose every build pretty much uses, at least a lot of them. Really decent gloves here, they also just needed 1 roll to be perfect. Really decent Raiment of the Infinite, I haven't gotten a better yet, but it's still okay. Okay Godslayer's Crown. A very nice amulet here. This one is pretty much GG, like true GG. It only needs +3 to, was it the passive or something skills instead of conjuration mastery. So very good amulet here. And a lower roll ring. This ring, however, is a bit of a fun thing. I did get this ring from a vendor, so it's cool in Diablo 4 that you can still check vendors even at a high gear level and sometimes get lucky. It's rolled a bit low, you can see the stats not that good, but it's found from a vendor, so again that's a pretty cool thing, but they do have that option in Diablo 4. And then just another really good ring here, also very close to perfect roll. And a very good offhand here. I actually have like 2 of these or 3 of these offhands that are rolled very well. So in the end it's just, yeah, it's another really good offhand here. And why do I show all this gear? What's the point of showing all this gear? It's just to highlight that I'm only level 94. So for most people they would say that if you're 94 you haven't even played the game. Well, consider this, I started this patch at level, was it 75, 74, so I really only played to 74 to 94, and I'm already truly best geared. And I think that at this point it's safe to say that it's too easy now to play Diablo 4. And I'm gonna show you the trick that everyone uses, not that it's a trick, because everyone realizes that you kinda have to do it, but you should use Discord servers, and you can just go on the big, I think it's even like officially Blizzard, whatever Discord server, Sanctuary Diablo 4 community. And then every time you're gonna do the bosses, it doesn't matter if it's just Duriel, it can be Vashan, Gregor, or whatever. All of them, all of the 4 ones, 5 ones of them, you just go into the Discord channel here and you can find other people to play with. And then you share the kills. And when you share Uber Duriel, oh my fucking god, just 4 kills of that. 4 Uber Duriel kills, which is by the way insanely easy to do. Uber Duriel is not hard. I was able to do Uber Duriel without very good gear already at like, I don't know, 85 or something like that. Uber Duriel is way undertuned, especially because also now that people have gear, you go into groups where they're literally one-shotting Uber Duriel. I'm not kidding you. Barbs have this crazy thing with overpower, where they can like guarantee a crit or whatever, but basically when warriors overpower crit, they crit for over 100 million damage. I was in a group with one, and this is on Eternal non-season. I guess it's even better on season. Where they literally, like, Uberdurial goes up, starts nearly attacking, and it's dead. Literally one-shotting Uberdurial, because warriors can crit that high now. It's absolutely insane to look at. So, after you kill Uberdurial 4 times, what do you get? Well, you get 4 times chance for a weapon, you get 4 chance times for Tiber's Will, you get 4 times chance for Godslayer Crown, and hell, I even got lucky with an Andariel Visage. Fucking crazy. In this group here, both a Shaco dropped and Andariel's Visage. That's obviously very, very lucky. But I only killed Uberdurial like 20 times, and I, of course, in those 20 times got very lucky. Because I both got like the uniques that I needed and Andariel's Visage. So yeah, that's very lucky. But that was an insane group where both a Shaco and an Andariel's Visage dropped. But yeah, what it basically means for this is you just have to go out and do Helltides. And I don't even know if the Helltide is up right now. It isn't. But just do Helltides and Whispers. The easiest content in the game rewards the best loot. And this is just insane to me, how fast we gear up now. Because pre-patch, when I was looking like max roll GG guides, I saw like, oh my god, the item rolls that you can get on items, it's impossible. You can't get the GG items from a max roll guide. Well, I have it. I mean, look at my offhand here. It's GG. The resource generation is a little bit low, but everything is perfect. And it's the same thing with most of my items. Maybe I miss 1 roll, 2 rolls here and there on items, but for the most part, even I'm done now with a full max roll GG guide setup. It's pretty fucking insane how fast you gear, and I would say it's even faster than Diablo 3. Like, I still don't have full ancient on my Necromancer that I made in the last season. I don't have much ancient on that at all, actually. Oh, and now Helltide starts. So, Helltides, you just go and do Helltides. You do the Living Steel 2 times of that. It takes like half an hour, maybe 20 minutes if you're very efficient. Then you get enough for 1 summon of Uberdurial or whatever. And then you just go do a few Whispers, and you can get lots of these items here for Malignant Hurts, Gurgling, and so on. It's so easy now to gear up, and I really think that Blizzard should maybe tune that. It should perhaps be a bit harder to gear up. Maybe it's fine that gear is so easy, because that at least means that you can re-roll another character, you can try out other builds. I guess I don't really have a problem with easy gearing, but I was still surprised that, again, from my level 74, 73 now to 94. Well, I was already pissed at like level 90. I'm done. I don't have any goals to gear for. My build is done. This ball up lightning sorceress is also insane. It's not insane like on season. Again, other classes also really good, like the barb I see creating for over 100 million, as I mentioned. But now the sorceress is done. I don't have anything to strive for. And this is also where I want to talk about glyphs. Now, they made glyphs faster to level in the patch from what I understood, but I still think it's way too slow. Glyphs have so much power increase, and you have to level, I don't know, 10 or 15 of them or something, which means that you have to do like 150 nightmare dungeons. And may I say, why does nightmare dungeons not give any good loot? I just told you that to get the best loot, you're only gonna do Helltides and Nightmare Whispers. The other areas of the game don't matter now, because you just wanna get to Uberdurial, farm Uberdurial only, to get the really good loot. So having to grind these glyphs here, I mean, I haven't even grinded more than 1 of them. It's so annoying to do Nightmare dungeons now. I don't even enjoy them. I mean, a Nightmare 80 dungeon seems easy, and then you go to a Nightmare 100 dungeon and you get 1 shot from some stupid thing. It's the same thing with the scaling in Greater Rift in Diablo 3, where you can sort of have fun at a Greater Rift 120 or whatever, maybe 110, 90, whatever your build is at. And then suddenly you go up to like 5, 10 levels more and you're just getting 1 shot from something. And that's the thing with Nightmare Dungeons 100. Sure, Nightmare Dungeons 100 are easier than a Greater Rift 150 in Diablo 3 or whatever, they for sure are. But it also just forces you to play more defensive if you're gonna do a Nightmare 100. Like today, do a Nightmare 100 at as a ball lightning orb sorceress. I would probably have to remove Godslash Crown. I would also go with the Soul Brand, whatever it's called chest. So I'm basically removing fun items that gives me a new way to play or whatever, just to have more survival. And I don't really enjoy that much. That playstyle where you have to just stack survival to do a little bit of harder content. Yeah, I don't really like Nightmare dungeons. I think a lot of dungeons also still too much backtracing still, and especially they just need to, oh my god, they just need to remove all the dungeons where you have to kill all the mobs. If you can just remove those, like the Nightmare Den in Act 1, it's fun to do that once per character, maybe 3 times normal Nightmare Hell, but I don't want to do it in an Act 3 or Act 4, Act 5. I'm so happy that the Nightmare Dungeon is only in Act 1 in Diablo 2. That is so annoying. And in general, did I mention the death effects? Yes, I mentioned that at the start of the video. There are a lot of reasons why I don't enjoy Nightmare Dungeons, because I just don't find them enjoyable. That's the core part, and that makes leveling glyphs so annoying to do. Another thing I also really wish they would do is to copy WoW's talents. So WoW in Dragonflight, this expansion got some talent where you can basically just import Paragon talents or talent trees. So say Maxwell has a link on the website for the Paragon tree, you can just import that. Because my god, respeccing Paragon trees and going through all the little steps once you have to make a change, there's been an update to the tree or whatever, it literally takes half an hour to respec Paragon trees. It is beyond toxic. So bad. And also another thing is, I think it's stupid that you get small little Paragon jumps every, was it 1/4 a level or whatever. I don't really like that. I just want to get like 10 levels every whatever level or whatever. I think giving us a little bit every time so you cannot have this stupid pop-up. Basically, I hate this pop-up. I wish you can get this unspent ability points pop-up removed from the game. That would actually just fix my most annoying thing with Paragon trees right now. But especially the need to, yeah, the import system that they have for WoW is perfect. Because you just go on Icy Veins or whatever site, and you import talents, and you can instantly play your character with the new talent layouts. And they should do the same for the Paragon tree. And then I guess I also just have to talk about stash space. You can see my stash now. I spent so much time trying to get it neat like this. I can't remove any more items now from my stash. I'm only keeping like some of the better green items that I have found. I'm not gonna remove like these really decent weapons that potentially could be good for a build later on. And then I pretty much only keep perfect aspects, like this one is perfect, or this one is nearly perfect. I really just, they need to give us more stash tabs. Or of the obvious answer that everyone has already suggested for like 2 months now is just to give us a system. My suggestion is that this could be very fun. Other people also talked about this, that every time you get perhaps Spellbinder, Off Control, Perfect Roll, then you keep the Perfect Roll now on your aspect at the vendor. So that would be a perfect way to actually reward you. Just keep finding these really cool items. Like this one is insane. It's pretty wild roll for Ice Shard. And why not just give us this one and an aspect once you destroy it? So you always keep it at the vendor. That will really just fix stash space if we got another aspect system. There's so many ways you could do the aspect system, but the best thing is just to keep everything at the vendor. And now that I'm at a vendor, they also still need to fix the performance. My god, sometimes when I minimize World of Diablo 4, my window is minimized, I come back to my screen 20 minutes later, the screen is literally frozen. There's so many issues still with town performance, and I'm not gonna uncap my FPS yet. I'm still playing with a capped FPS because I don't want to risk anything. It's obvious that every time you talk to a vendor, you're general in the town, your performance is just so worse than anywhere else in the game. And it's crazy that Blizzard still has not fixed that. I mean, it's literally at this point where how many thousands of dollars, perhaps millions of dollars have they bricked people's graphics cards and laptops and so on. I'm definitely not still playing this game worry-free. I am definitely not that. I'm still sometimes looking at Task Manager and Heat and so on in this game. But as I mentioned in the recent video I did for Diablo 4, the game is actually worth playing now. Something like the fixed Renown now, this account bound is very nice, and I just want to give a little quick tip on Renown as well. If you're still grinding Renown in Diablo 4, you should just focus on whispers. Like Forgotten Depths is up, like there's always dungeons up, like this one is perfect. This is a very good example. I'm actually just gonna do this one right now after the video. This one will give you Renown, plus it will also give the aspect. So just focus on dungeons that gives you aspect, because they will give you Renown, they will give you the aspect, they will also give you loot and experience and so on. Like Renown is not an issue in the game any longer, because you also can do so much else at the same time while getting Renown levels. Very nice to just get that out of the way, doing dungeons that also rewards you with aspects and so on. Here at the end, I also just wanted to give a shout out to healthtides.com. It's a very good website that you should start using, especially for tracking the world bosses. So early on, when you maybe don't have gear or whatever for Uberdurial, you can just do the world boss 1 or 2 times a day. It gives crazy loot chances as well, guaranteed 925 like the Uberdurial. It's so easy now to gear up, it really is. It's not gonna take you a long time to get the same gear level that I am right now. But overall, for real, no bullshit, the game is more fun now. But I actually think it's less, or like it's gonna stay less fun than Diablo 3 a season or whatever. Because I really don't think that most people are gonna stick around longer than what you're already doing now in Diablo 3. Because the game is just still too pointless in a way. Like there isn't much to chase. Again, I leveled 20 levels from, was it 74 to 94 now, and I'm done. The only thing I can do now to progress is just do nightmare dungeons, which I talked about, which I don't really enjoy because I find the reward loop in nightmare dungeons sucks. Often the dungeons I don't like because they have specific affixes, and I don't like some of the special abilities that Nightmare Dungeon gives you, the affixes and so on, because some of them are just soul crushing for my build, and others don't even matter at all. Like the bubble ones or whatever it's called, destroys lightning orb sorceress, so that's not fun when you get into a Nightmare Dungeon that has an affix that are specifically gonna nerf your damage a lot more and so on. But yeah, again, the game is much better. I enjoyed it for at least 2-3 weeks now. Casually, whatever, and I think that's a success, at least compared to when it launched. But yeah, I was just so surprised that the gear is so easy to get now. I never thought that I would be done gearing before level 100, and my gear is just so good now. I'm absolutely amazed by that. Didn't think it would be that easy, but it really is. So yeah, that was some tips, my thoughts on the state of the game so far, and everything I kind of wanted to maybe change and so on. Like loot 2.0 needs to happen. Loot still sucks in the game. Like loot should also be interesting at level 20, so you should be able to find best items at level 20. There's still too much shit junk. Like you do one nightmare dungeon and you can't even pick up all the items from that dungeon. So a little going back to teleport, clearing your inventory. Like, oh, of course you shouldn't loot every item, but why shouldn't I be able to loot every item that drops in a loot-oriented game? Loot filter obviously needs to happen, all these types of things. But yeah, the game is much better, but there are still huge issues with the game, and there still needs the game still needs core changes to be really good for a more mainstream audience to really enjoy it for more than a week or two.